So you ever hear that old song and old adage, I was country before country was cool? You know, it's like a 90s song or something. Well, I was cheap before cheap was cool. And I'm still cheap. The thing about being cheap, thrifty, whatever the heck you want to call it, is it doesn't go out of style. Because usually the ones that are cheap or thrifty are hit, in a good place. Because they're not overspending. They're not giving a dang what other people think. That old, oh hell, I think it's Webby. It's like the loudest tend to be the brokest tend to be the loudest. So you just gotta stick with it. It's one of those deals. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Nobody cares how much you got. Nobody cares about your swag. Ain't nobody care. Ain't nobody care if you're driving a car that looks pretty on the side of the road because it has a blown up engine, or you ain't got no money for gas or insurance. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if I was to get rear-ended today or whatever, hit, like sideswiped, whatever, I got two questions. First question, are you all right? Second question, you got insurance? Because I guarantee you, about half these people are out here with a new vehicle that they know you can't afford. They ain't got no insurance. That's probably the first thing they let go. They probably let that insurance go, because as long as they got insurance for that first week or month or whatever, ain't nobody gonna ask no questions till the cop pulls up. I didn't know what happens, but I know it isn't good when you get a ticket without insurance. And I also know that, like, a little bit of legal jargon here, but don't quote me on this. I'm just me saying what I'm thinking here. If you don't have insurance, you shouldn't have been out on the road. And if you weren't out on the road, you wouldn't have hit me. Or I wouldn't have hit you if you weren't out on the road. That whole deal. And I don't want to put no bad on anybody, but, so if you're cheap and you're driving that hoopty, or whatever you want to call it, hoopty, summer beater, winter beater, junker, whatever, you're driving that car around, it's the junkers that got insurance on them. It's the junkers that got full coverage. It's the guy that's driving around in the 2024 vehicle that is down on his payments, and maybe he's having some trouble at work or home or whatever, and the insurance, first thing he's gonna let go. Because ain't nobody asked about the insurance until you get pulled over or get in an accident. I'm not saying drive without insurance. I'm saying absolutely the opposite. I'm saying keep that insurance on there no matter what, because that ain't no joke. And also PIP or whatever, I always throw unlimited on there, but that's just me. Because like, I'll throw minimum coverage, because this kind of cars I drive are like $3,000 cars. If I was to go into a ditch and hit a tree or whatever, I've been in a lot of accidents. Been in a lot of car accidents, folks. And like, I ain't worried about me. I'm tough. I think I've rolled like 6. I think I've slid off into a ditch probably another 6 times. I've endoed 2, end over end. And yeah, just general accidents. Most of that was me in a dirt road, nobody around. It's Pebbles dirt road, and I'm doing something stupid. The first car I flipped, I was it was a 91 Tempo, and I was kicking it sideways down a dirt road that had, how dirt roads, if they completely dry out, they become like pebbles. Well, I was drifting by pretty much just turning it one way, gunning it, turning it the other way, gunning it, turn it the other way, gun it. And usually about that third time, you have the car completely sideways. Well, there were some chatter bumps. And I knew there was chatter bumps, but I didn't think that would be such an issue. And, as you can imagine, your tires were doing this. And one tire grabbed, and the car just went, didn't even hit the mirrors. And I stood like 30 feet. And I caught a branch of a tree and another tree about 40 feet down to a quarry, stone quarry, And yeah, that tree grabbed my bumper and saved me from going whatever. But yeah, that was my very first rollover. Anyway, I've been in a whole bunch of car accidents, so I don't keep full coverage on vehicles. Because if you hit a deer or whatever, it happens. But I do keep that full POPD, or not POPD, the full PIP or whatever heck it is, the unlimited PIP, because that's something where if you were to hit somebody or if you were to take out like a house or something, you're fully covered there, you know. But if I'm just hitting a tree, you know, that's between me and the tree. You know, the tree's gonna probably win. The car's totaled, but I've never been able to walk away from any of these things, rollovers, whatever. I've been shot, been stabbed. I'm getting into that, but I'm a lot better. I'm retired. But you know, car accident wise, I ain't worried about it because this is like a $3,000 car I'm sitting in right here. And it's got like 270 or yeah, like I think it's gonna hit 277 or something. I'm doing an oil change here real quick, and like I do my oil changes at 3K, but like I don't care. I'll go out and buy another one. Simple as that. I'll grab another $3,000 vehicle and jump in one of my other rides for a week or two till I can find a deal. Grab that, jump in the other ride, and that's what it is. You just run these cheap rides. And I'll run a $3,000 vehicle and a $3,000 vehicle and a $3,000 vehicle and a $3,000 vehicle, little cheap hoopties. And I'll run them for 50 to 60, maybe 70,000 miles till something goes out, like the transmission or the engine starts having a rod knock or something along those lines. And there you go. I'll just let it go, and I'll let it go. I'll buy it for $3. I'll probably let it go for like $800. This thing has like $1,200 worth of tires. I bought it for $8. And then I had to put new tires on it because it chewed them up because the alignment's all to hell. But, you know, I only got I think I got 3 or 4 into this. I ain't that worried. I just do basic maintenance. And it's not a hard vehicle. It's a, whatever, like 2003 or 2004 Trailblazer. So I'm going to ride the heck out of it. And I just buy me another hoopty. And buy me another hoopty. And I've been doing this for years. And now that I got the house, and I was giving them away. I was riding them for like, until I find a better version, and I just give the other car away. Like a whole running vehicle, I'd sell it for like $400 because I didn't have the room. Now I got the room so I can hang on to them. But be cheap. Cheap is cool. Ain't nothing wrong with cheap. Ain't nothing wrong with driving a $3,000 hoopty time and time and time and time and getting 10 years that way. And instead of spending, oh God, what's that, less than a year? In less than a year of payments, you can have that car paid off. And then you're good for the next, God, it's like 7 years people are paying on cars now. You're ahead 6 years. You can tuck away that money for 6 years and easily buy a second one. And then, usually buy a second one with that. Maybe upgrade. So, whatever. Cheap is cool. Cheap is cool, folks. It ain't, I mean, you can be all flashy and such, but you don't need to be. Be cheap. Ain't no we're cheap. And I don't know, looking cheap, being cheap, whatever. Cheap. Have fun, folks.